Welcome to the world of science fiction, where imagination turns real and every story takes you beyond the stars. Enjoy the ride. The world had changed quietly. No wars, no meteors, no grand announcements. Just laws rewritten in the name of interplanetary cooperation. That's how they came. The alien women. Refugees, workers, slaves, depending on who you asked. Vincent didn't care about the politics. He only cared about his daughter. He stood in the dusty market outside the orbital dockyard, the air humming with cargo drones and the smell of recycled oxygen. River's tiny hand clutched his jacket sleeve. She was barely 6, thin as paper, eyes red from crying. "Daddy," she whispered, "why can't Mommy come back?" Vincent swallowed hard. There were no right words left. His wife had been gone a year now. A shuttle malfunction, or maybe something darker. He stopped asking after the third official report contradicted itself. What mattered now was River's loneliness and the nightmares. He looked up at the auction block. 3 alien women sat behind reinforced glass, each one marked with a number and a value. Their blue skins shimmered faintly under the ultraviolet lamps. No chains, those had been outlawed, but the silence was heavy enough to feel like metal. A trader stepped forward, his badge flickering in the heat. "Model 72s, he said with a salesman's grin. Docile, fluent in Terran language, trained in human culture protocols. Emotional bonding optional. Price, 6 credits. 6 credits, $6. The cost of a meal." Vincent exhaled. The number hit him like an insult and an opportunity at once. He looked again. The first Haven had soft eyes, almost maternal. The second, Scotty, stared straight ahead, jaw tight, not broken, but defiant. The third, Gemma, looked down, her silver hair veiling her expression as if she already knew the future. River pointed. "They look sad." Vincent knelt beside her. "They're tired, sweetheart. Maybe they just need a home." He didn't know if he believed his own words. The trader's datapad blinked. "Choose one," he said. Vincent hesitated, and then his voice came out low, almost like a prayer. "My daughter needs a mother." The trader paused. "You can't afford more than one, sir." Vincent reached into his coat, pulled out his digital wallet, and pushed it across. "Then sell me all 3. The crowd murmured. No one bought 3. The trader raised a brow but didn't argue. Business was business. A few minutes later, the deal was logged. Ownership transferred. 6 credits for 3 lives. As the gates opened, Haven stepped forward first. Her movements were careful, graceful, like someone trained to obey but born to nurture. "We belong to you now?" she asked quietly. Vincent shook his head. "No, you belong to yourselves. I just want you to help me take care of my little girl." Scotty gave a half smile. The kind that wasn't really a smile. "That's not how ownership works here." Gemma said nothing. She simply looked at River, then knelt and brushed a strand of hair from the child's face. River froze, then smiled faintly. Something changed in that moment. Small, invisible, but real. That night, back in the small rural outpost he called home, Vincent watched as Haven cooked synthetic grain in the kitchen. Scotty inspected the solar panel outside, and Gemma sat by River's bedside, humming a song in a language that didn't exist on Earth. For the first time in months, his house sounded alive. But peace in this world never lasted long. Outside, in the neon-lit control tower above the market, Overseer River, the human government's liaison for alien affairs, replayed the sale footage. Her assistant frowned. "Why flag this one, ma'am?" "Just another civilian purchase." River leaned closer to the screen, eyes narrowing at Vincent's face. "That man's wife disappeared last year in Sector 12, and Sector 12 is where the first rebellion started." The assistant blinked. "You think he knows something?" River's lips curved slightly. "No, but I think one of them does." She froze the frame on Gemma's face, the quiet one. Her eyes glowed faintly, not blue like the others, but violet. "Track that family." Morning came with the pale orange hue of 2 suns. Vincent hadn't slept. The small outpost home, once silent and cold, now carried the faint hum of motion. Haven preparing breakfast with eerie precision, Scotty calibrating the drone locks by the door, and Gemma sitting cross-legged beside River, braiding the little girl's hair with hands too gentle for a species born in that captivity. For a moment, Vincent let himself believe this could work. Then the power flickered, the air filters hiccuped, lights dimmed, and the screen on the wall flashed. Unauthorized device detected. Vincent's stomach tightened. He rushed toward the terminal, slammed a few keys, but the system refused access. Scotty appeared behind him, wiping her hands on a rag. "Your security grid's primitive," she muttered. "Someone's pinging you from orbit." Vincent froze. "Orbit? Who would—" "Government," she said flatly. "They track every alien they sell." Haven looked up from the kitchen, fear flickering across her calm features. "You said this would be a safe home." Vincent's voice was quiet. "It is." But his eyes betrayed doubt. Meanwhile, miles above the desert, in the orbital tower, Overseer River leaned over her console, eyes fixed on Vincent's file. "They've installed local shielding," her assistant said. "Signal's patchy." "Patch it stronger," River replied. "I want a constant feed on the violet one." "Gemma." The assistant hesitated. "Her ID doesn't match the standard DNA profiles. She's not from the shipment manifest." River's gaze hardened. "Then who the hell did that man bring into his house?" Back on the surface, River's drones cut through the clouds like dark birds. Gemma felt it before anyone saw them. She was outside, hanging laundry, a simple human task, when her head snapped upward. Her pupils contracted to thin rings of light. Vincent came out onto the porch. "What's wrong?" She turned toward him, voice low. "They're watching." "Who?" Gemma stepped closer until her eyes caught the morning sun, and for a heartbeat, he saw it again. That faint violet glow, pulsing under her skin. Not human, not docile. Something older. Before he could speak, Scotty shouted from inside, "They're scanning the property!" Vincent ran in, grabbed the manual override switch, slammed it down. The whole house darkened, systems dead, off the grid. He leaned against the wall, chest heaving. Haven spoke softly. "You risk too much, human." Vincent met her gaze. "If they're after you, they're after my daughter too. So no, I'm not risking too much. I'm protecting what's mine." Gemma's expression shifted. Sorrow, respect, something unspoken. "You don't understand," she whispered. "They're not after us because we escaped. They're after us because one of us remembers." Night again. River slept soundly for the first time in weeks. Her new mother's tucking her in, Vincent pacing the hallway. Outside her window, Gemma stared at the desert horizon. The second sun was setting, casting a violet shimmer over her hands. Scotty came beside her. "You think he's ready?" Gemma shook her head. "No human ever is." "Then why stay?" Gemma looked toward the child's window, the soft silhouette of River sleeping. "Because that little girl, she dreams of a sky I've seen before." Scotty frowned. "You're saying she—" Gemma turned. "River isn't fully human." A cold wind slid through the night. Scotty's jaw tightened. "Then this man's entire life is a lie." Gemma didn't answer. Her eyes dimmed, the glow fading as if swallowed by the dark. In the orbital tower, Overseer River's console pinged. "Ma'am, the signal's gone again." River frowned. "No, it's not gone. It's hidden." She zoomed in on a faint energy trace on the screen. Violet, faint, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. "Trace that pattern," she ordered, "and get me a containment unit ready. If that glow is what I think it is, we just found the key to the rebellion they buried." On the ground, Vincent stared at his sleeping daughter. Her face was peaceful now. He brushed her cheek and froze. Under the skin, near her temple, a tiny flicker of violet light pulsed once, then vanished. He stepped back, heart hammering. "River?" he whispered. She stirred, murmured something in her sleep. The word was alien, soft and melodic. Gemma appeared silently behind him. "Now you know," she said. Vincent turned, voice trembling. "What are you?" Gemma's violet eyes met his. "Not the question you should be asking, Vincent. The real question is, what is she?" The lights outside flickered again. Somewhere in the desert, drones descended. The night didn't end. It just stretched. Vincent sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the flickering power light on the wall console. Outside, the twin moons carved silver scars across the sand. Somewhere out there, the overseer's drones swept the dunes like vultures, scanning for the violet pulse that betrayed them all. In the next room, River slept uneasily, whispering in that alien tongue again. Every word cut into him. He'd thought he was buying peace for 6 credits, not opening a doorway to something buried under the planet's dust. Gemma entered quietly barefoot, her reflection gliding across the cracked mirror. "She's dreaming again," she said. Vincent looked up. "You know what those words mean, don't you?" Gemma nodded. "It's a lullaby from Aurelia." "My homeworld." He blinked. Aurelia was destroyed decades ago. Her eyes flickered violet. "No world ever dies, Vincent. Only the truth about it does." Downstairs, Scotty was pacing, rifle slung across her shoulder. Haven sat at the table, hands folded, whispering a prayer to gods humans never knew. "They'll come tonight," Scotty muttered. "You can feel it in the air." Vincent rubbed his temples. "If they come, we run." Scotty laughed darkly. "Run where?" "There's no place for people like us. You're a man with 3 illegal wives and a daughter glowing like a reactor core." Haven looked up. "There's a place," she said softly. "If we can reach the salt flats, there's an old shuttle port beneath the dunes. It belonged to our kind before the markets opened." Vincent frowned. "How do you know that?" Haven smiled faintly. "Because I built it." The wind began to hum. Low, mechanical, endless. The first drone appeared over the ridge, then another until the night sky glowed red with search beams. Gemma grabbed River from the bed, wrapping her in a blanket. "Don't be afraid," she whispered. "You've done this before?" River's small voice trembled. "Before?" Scotty kicked the door open. "Move! They've locked coordinates!" They ran into the open desert, the sand whipping around them like fire. Vincent carried a pack on his back. Inside, Haven's data core glowed with old maps and coded access keys. Behind them, the house exploded, drones striking with precision fire. Vincent didn't look back. Up above, Overseer River stood inside her observation deck, watching the strike feed. "Target acquired," her technician reported. River leaned forward. "Zoom in on the child." The feed focused. Tiny figure, glowing faintly in Gemma's arms, running through a storm of dust. River's expression changed. It wasn't satisfaction. It was recognition. "She's not just another hybrid," River said. "She's the one from Project Eden." Her assistant frowned. "That program was shut down years ago." River's voice was flat. It was buried, not shut down. Down on the surface, lightning cracked over the dunes. They reached the salt flats, an endless white mirror under the twin moons. The sand hardened beneath their feet, revealing faint metallic lines. Old landing tracks. Haven knelt, brushing dust away, her fingers lighting up the buried control panel. "It's still here." The ground rumbled. A door the size of a ship's wing rose from the sand, ancient lights flickering to life. Vincent stared in disbelief. "You were engineers," Haven smiled. "We were creators. Until your people turned us into property." Scotty cut in, impatient. "Save the history lesson for later. We've got 30 seconds before." A beam ripped across the dunes, scorching the air beside them. Drones screamed overhead. Vincent shoved River through the hatch first, then Haven and Scotty. Gemma lingered, looking up at the sky. The drones paused, scanning her specifically. Then, without warning, her eyes blazed bright violet. The drones froze mid-air, their lights dimming, their sensors burning out one by one. Vincent stared. "What the hell did you just do?" Gemma turned toward him, her face calm. "I reminded them who built them." The last drone fell, smoking into the sand. They descended into the underground corridor, walls lined with alien symbols, dust, and forgotten light. Haven led them to a massive steel door at the end. Behind this, she said, is a ship, one of the last that escaped Aurelia. Vincent exhaled. Then we fly. But Gemma stopped him. If we open that door, we'll wake something that's been asleep since before you were born. He stepped closer. You mean a weapon? Gemma's voice lowered. No, Vincent, a memory. Behind the door, a heartbeat echoed, slow, deep, and alive. Far above, Overseer Rivers' console screamed alarms. Ma'am, we've lost visual. Rivers' eyes widened as she saw the map blinking with violet flares under the salt flats. Get me every strike team we have, she ordered. If that thing wakes up, no one, human or alien, will be able to control it. She stared at the image of the small girl glowing faintly in the dark and whispered almost to herself, What have you done? Vincent. The air underground was warm, too warm for dead metal. Vincent's flashlight cut through the corridor, beams dancing over curved walls marked with alien script. Each line pulsed faintly, alive, like veins beneath translucent skin. River clung to his arm, eyes wide. Daddy, it's breathing. She was right. The floor vibrated softly, rhythmic, a heartbeat echoing through stone. Haven knelt, touching one of the glowing veins. It's not a base, she murmured. It's organic. Scotty frowned. You mean the whole damn structure's alive? Gemma stepped forward. It's not a structure. It's her, the last Aurelian core, the one they called the Mother. Vincent's brow furrowed. A person? No, Gemma whispered. A world. Above ground, Overseer River watched the live thermal feed bloom with violet light. Her assistant's voice cracked. Ma'am, whatever's under there, it's not tech. It's alive. River's jaw clenched. Then we're too late. He's already opened it. Orders? River hesitated. The orders she'd been trained to give, contain, neutralize, erase, caught in her throat. She stared at the screen, the face of a man she once admired from afar. Vincent Hale, the father who'd begged for peace, not power. Deploy, but no direct strike, she said finally. We bring them in alive. Back beneath the dunes, Haven worked her hands into the control seal. The wall responded like skin, parting under her touch. Warm air poured through, heavy with a scent like rain on metal. A cavern opened, massive, hollow, glowing with thousands of suspended spheres. Each one pulsed faintly, containing a sleeping form. Vincent stepped inside, awestruck. What is this place? Haven's voice trembled. Our memory vault. Every Aurelian mind ever lost during the colonization wars. They preserved them, waiting for someone to wake them. Scotty ran her hand over a sphere. Inside floated an alien child, peaceful and pale blue. You mean these are souls? Gemma's voice dropped. They're seeds. Each one can awaken into a full mind, if bonded with a compatible host. Vincent's breath caught. Compatible? You mean human? Gemma didn't answer. She didn't have to. A thunderous crack echoed above them. Drones breaching the surface. Scotty cocked her rifle. We've got company. Haven grabbed River's hand. We have to go deeper. The Mother will protect us. But Gemma shook her head. If she wakes completely, there won't be anything left to protect. Vincent turned to her. Then what do we do? Gemma's eyes glowed brighter now, the light rippling through her veins. We don't run. We negotiate. Up on the dunes, Overseer River's dropship landed with a metallic roar. Soldiers fanned out, weapons drawn, scanning the crater. River stepped down, dust swirling around her boots. Her earpiece crackled. Targets confirmed below. Awaiting command. She stared at the sand beneath her, violet light glowing through the cracks like veins in the earth. For the first time in her career, she hesitated. Her assistant's voice came through. Ma'am, if we wait, the core will reach full consciousness. Containment will be impossible. River whispered, so will forgiveness. And she descended. Deep in the chamber, Gemma's body stiffened. She's here. Vincent looked up. Who? The overseer. How do you know? Because she's like us. Before Vincent could react, the chamber entrance split open. A storm of light and dust. Soldiers poured in, weapons raised. Overseer River stepped forward, visor down, voice sharp. Vincent Hale, by planetary law, you and your property are under arrest. Vincent's voice cracked. They're not property. River's visor lifted. Her eyes gleamed faintly. Not human brown, but a cold, soft blue. No, they never were. The soldiers froze at her tone. She stepped closer, staring at Gemma. You're the last one, River said. The original host from Project Eden. Gemma's eyes flickered. And you were the first success. A shockwave rippled through the room. Lights flaring, the heartbeat beneath their feet accelerating. River staggered. You activated her, Gemma's voice echoed, layered with something older. She activated us. The spheres around them pulsed faster, millions of memories waking. Haven shouted out, we have to leave, now! But River looked straight at Vincent, her voice breaking through the chaos. If that core reaches full link, she'll rewrite every human mind on this planet. Vincent's heart pounded. Then tell me how to stop it. River pointed at Gemma. You can't stop her, but your daughter can. Vincent turned, stunned. River, his River, stood trembling beside Gemma, her small hands glowing faint violet, the same pulse as the core. Gemma dropped to her knees, eyes wide. She's the bridge, the chamber roared. The mother's heartbeat turned to thunder. Vincent reached for his daughter. River, no! But River only whispered one word. The air exploded into light. Above the dunes, the sky cracked open. Violet lightning ripping across both suns. Drones crashed from the air. Energy waves rippled through the desert, reaching even the orbital towers. Overseer River's ship systems went dark. The world held its breath. And then silence. When Vincent opened his eyes, the desert was gone. He lay in the middle of a glass field. The sand fused smooth by heat and lightning. The air shimmered, violet and gold, like dawn through broken glass. River was lying beside him, still breathing, her small hands faintly aglow. River, he whispered, can you hear me? She blinked slowly, her pupils glowing like liquid metal. Daddy, I can see everything. Haven knelt beside them, her silver hair matted with dust. She's still linked. The mother didn't destroy her. She chose her. Gemma stood a few feet away, staring at the sky. It wasn't blue anymore. It pulsed in waves, shifting between colors, alive with data and memory. She's awake, Gemma murmured, and she's rewriting the planet's consciousness as we speak. Scotty's voice cracked. You mean everyone out there's seeing what we saw down there? No, Gemma said softly. They're feeling it. Across the dunes, soldiers wandered in circles, weapons lowered, tears streaming down their faces. They weren't fighting anymore, just whispering fragments of alien lullabies, as if something had crawled inside their minds and turned fear into grief. Vincent looked around, bewildered. What's happening to them? Haven answered quietly. She's showing them what we lost. Every death, every memory we buried to survive. Why? So you understand what it means to create life and destroy it. In the distance, the wreckage of Overseer River's ship crackled with static. She stumbled out, bleeding, disoriented, but alive. For the first time, her eyes looked fully alien. She raised her communicator, voice trembling. Command, do you copy? Command. Nothing. The network was dead. Every frequency jammed by one pulse, the heartbeat of the mother herself. She turned and saw Vincent kneeling in the field, holding his daughter. For a brief moment, all her orders, her training, her loyalty to the human council, dissolved. There was only one truth left. They'd done this to themselves. Gemma turned to Vincent. The mother isn't attacking. She's remembering. But if the link keeps spreading unchecked, every human mind will drown in alien memory. There'll be no separation left. Vincent's voice broke. Then tell me how to stop it. Gemma looked at River, the child. You can't stop it, but she can choose what remains. Vincent's eyes filled. She's just a little girl. No, Gemma whispered. She's the first bridge between worlds. The only one who can rewrite the code. Decide which memories belong to which species. The sky darkened. Thousands of lights flickered across the horizon. Drones, satellites, entire orbital grids rebooting under alien control. Every screen on Earth now displayed a single image. A child's silhouette holding 3 glowing orbs. The caption read, in both languages, "We remember you." River's voice was faint. "They're calling me." Vincent shook his head. "Don't listen to them." "But they're crying, Daddy." "They're lonely." The wind howled, carrying whispers, not in words but emotions. Regret, longing, love. Haven stepped forward, touching Vincent's shoulder. "If she severs the link, the mother will fall back asleep. The planet will survive, but if she keeps it open..." Scotty finished the sentence. "Humanity changes forever." Vincent turned to his daughter. "River, listen to me. You don't have to fix the universe. Just stay with me." River looked up, eyes glistening. "I can do both." She stood. The ground beneath her pulsed. Violet rivers flowing outward from her feet. The glass field shimmered, reflecting thousands of faces, human and alien, all merging, all watching her. Gemma whispered in awe. "She's stabilizing the link." Overseer River, still limping toward them, stopped cold. "No, she's rewriting the base code." "What code?" Vincent shouted. "The one that separates us from them." For a moment, everything froze. Time folded in on itself, memories from both species colliding like waves. Vincent saw flashes that weren't his. An alien mother cradling her dying child on a colony world. A human soldier firing blindly into a crowd of blue-skinned refugees. The mother wasn't erasing history. She was forcing everyone to remember both sides. River's small voice echoed through the storm. "I don't want us to hate anymore." Then came the light. It wasn't an explosion. It was an awakening. Every mind on Earth lit up for one perfect instant, sharing every emotion, every loss, every memory. And then it stopped. The light faded. The sky turned quiet again. Vincent blinked, breathing hard. The field was gone. The desert had returned. Haven stood. "She did it," Scotty exhaled, trembling. "What did she do?" Gemma smiled faintly. "She made them remember love." Vincent turned, but his daughter was gone. Only a faint shimmer of violet remained in the sand where she'd stood. Miles away in the ruins of the old outpost, Overseer River stared into the horizon, her communicator crackling faintly back to life. "Command here. Report status." She whispered, "Mission complete, but the world isn't ours anymore." She looked up at the star, now pulsing gently, like a living heartbeat. And for the first time in history, the sky looked alive. 3 months after the awakening, Earth had 2 skies. One, the pale blue horizon of the old world, where humans still clung to their machines, their orders, their fear. The other, a faint, living glow at night, violet and breathing, the mark of those who'd accepted the link. They called it the Divide. Vincent watched it from the roof of his farmhouse, half the stars flickering like pulse lights, half dull and cold. The world had split not by nations or creed, but by consciousness. Haven stood beside him, arms folded. "They've declared the Aurelian Memory Network a threat to human sovereignty." Vincent glanced at her. "And what are we?" She smiled faintly. "An anomaly. You're a man who raised 3 alien wives and created the bridge that broke the planet." He sighed. "She wasn't supposed to fix the world. Just survive it." Haven touched his arm. "She did both." Across the ocean, cities trembled under riots. Governments fractured, unable to decide whether to destroy the link or embrace it. People with faint violet eyes were labeled touched. Some were worshipped. Others were hunted. And in the chaos, a whisper spread, "The child still lives." Vincent drove into the nearest settlement. Once a military zone, now a refugee hub. Posters hung from the ruins. "Remember her name, River Hale, the false savior." He tore one down, anger boiling beneath his calm. Scotty met him near the checkpoint, rifle slung over her shoulder. You shouldn't be here. The patrols are doubling. I need information, he said. If River's alive, someone's seen her. Scotty hesitated. Vincent, you don't get it. The Overseer's new unit. They're not just hunting aliens anymore. They're hunting anyone who remembers the awakening. He looked up sharply. Overseer River survived? Scotty nodded grimly. She's rebuilt the Authority. Calls it the Reclaimers. They believe humanity was corrupted, and she's leading the purge. Vincent froze. She's killing her own? Scotty's eyes hardened. She's killing anything that glows. Meanwhile, deep within the quarantine zones, Gemma moved through the dark tunnels of an old metro line, guiding a small group of touched survivors. Their eyes flickered faint violet in the dark. A child stumbled beside her. Miss Gemma, is the sky ever coming back? Gemma smiled softly. It never left. You just have to listen. Above them, the tunnel ceiling pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat under concrete. The mother was still there, sleeping beneath the cities, whispering through electric lines, waiting for her child to call again. Night. Vincent returned to the farmhouse. The wind carried static, faint signals bleeding through the airwaves. He turned on his old radio. Static then, a child's voice, distant but clear. Daddy, can you hear me? He froze. Haven! Haven, come here! The radio hissed again, the voice breaking through. They're hurting her, Daddy. The one with the blue eyes. She wants me to fix the world again. Vincent gripped the table. River, where are you? In her dreams. She won't wake up unless I help her. Then silence. Haven stared at the radio, her expression darkening. It's a live transmission, neural frequency, not audio. She's speaking through the link. Vincent's voice broke. She's trapped. Scotty's voice came from the doorway. And I know where. They followed Scotty across the barren salt plains to what had once been a government observatory, now surrounded by floodlights and drones. At its center stood a towering structure, a neural tower made of steel and violet glass, pulsing like a living lung. Scotty whispered, That's where the Overseer is running her experiments. She's trying to extract the mother's consciousness into herself. Vincent clenched his fists. She wants to become the mother. Haven's tone went cold. She won't survive that. No, Vincent said, but my daughter will die trying to save her. Inside the tower, Overseer River sat in a suspended chamber, her veins glowing bright blue. Her voice echoed through the intercom. Bring her to me. Technicians lowered a stasis capsule. Inside, in the faint silhouette of River Hale, the real one. Overseer River leaned closer to the glass, her reflection overlapping with the child's. You connected us once, little one, but you gave them too much. This time, I'll control what they remember. The child stirred. Her voice echoed, layered and ancient. You can't own memory. Overseer River smiled. Watch me. She pressed her palm to the glass, and the tower trembled. The entire sky flickered, the link pulsing erratically across continents and cities. Every touched human collapsed, screaming, as if their minds were being torn in two. Back on the plains, Vincent fell to his knees, gripping his head. Haven held him up, shouting over the storm. She's forcing a merge! Gemma's voice crackled through the comm. If she completes the link, the mother will collapse into her mind and take every connected brain with her. Scotty chambered around. Then we end it tonight. Vincent looked up, fury blazing in his eyes. No, we save them tonight. The sky split open. Lightning poured from the neural tower, streaking across the desert, violet and blue colliding in the clouds. Vincent stared into the storm. His daughter's voice echoed faintly in his head, terrified, pleading. Daddy, please don't let her forget. The storm had a pulse. Lightning cracked above the neural tower, each strike synchronized with the human heartbeat. Millions connected through the link, screaming in silent unison. Vincent gripped the steering controls of the transport. Knuckles white as the tower loomed larger ahead, glowing like a living monument to regret. Beside him, Haven loaded her plasma rifle, while Scotty synchronized the neural dampeners. "Once we get inside," Scotty shouted, "no one's walking out unless we shut that thing down manually." Vincent's voice was hoarse. "Then we walk in together." They breached the tower gates under a rain of light. Electric dust whipped through the air, whispering fragments of thought. "Help her. Stop the pain. Remember me." Inside, the walls pulsed with organic light. Cables moved like veins, breathing, alive. Haven pressed her hand to the nearest one. "She's merging." The Overseer's body is the new core. Vincent's heart pounded. "And River's trapped inside it." Scotty looked at him. "If we cut power to the reactor, the whole neural grid collapses. The link dies. Everyone goes back to being human." Vincent stared into the storming light. "And my daughter dies with it." No one answered. They reached the central chamber. Suspended in a cocoon of glass and light was Overseer River. Half human, half alien, veins pulsing blue and violet. And inside that cocoon, like a reflection, floated the faint image of his River. The child, eyes closed, calm amid chaos. Vincent stepped forward. "River! I'm here!" The Overseer's eyes snapped open. Her voice was two-toned, one cold, one heartbreakingly gentle. "She can't hear you. She's inside the mother's core. But if you want her," she extended a glowing hand, "then come take her." The tower floor erupted. Cables lashed out, glowing like serpents, wrapping around Vincent's limbs. He screamed. Pain not physical but emotional. Memories flooding his mind all at once. He saw River's birth, her laughter, her nightmares after the colony war. The day he bought the alien wives, desperate to give her a family again. And beneath it all, the voice of the Overseer, whispering through the noise. "You built this world on grief, Vincent. Let me fix it." Haven screamed and fired. The cocoon cracked, violet light spilling across the floor. Scotty ran to the core panel, bypassing the overload failsafe. "We've got 60 seconds before this place eats itself alive." Gemma's voice came through the comm from the underground link. "Vincent, listen to me. If the mother dies with the Overseer, all connected minds collapse. The only way to stabilize the link is through the bridge." Vincent staggered to his feet. "River!" The child's faint image flickered within the glass. Her voice echoed through his mind. "Daddy, I'm not scared anymore." He pressed his hand against the barrier. "You don't have to be. Just come home." River smiled faintly. "Home isn't gone. It's inside everyone now." The light surged. Vincent felt his heart tear in two. "River, please." Her small hand pressed against his from the other side of the glass. "Tell them to remember both sides." And with that, the chamber exploded in light. Silence. The tower was gone, reduced to shards of glowing dust that drifted through the air like fireflies. The storm faded. The violet glow in the sky dimmed to soft gold. Vincent lay in the sand, barely breathing. Haven knelt beside him, tears streaking through the soot on her face. "She stopped it," she whispered. "The merge collapsed, but the world's still connected." He turned his head toward the horizon. Millions of faint lights flickering across cities, mountains, oceans. Every mind on Earth glowing softly, remembering something they couldn't explain. A lullaby, a child's voice, a feeling of peace. Scotty walked up, exhausted. "It's over." Vincent shook his head. "No, it's just beginning." Weeks later. A broadcast flickered across every screen on the planet. A man's voice, tired, calm, resolute. "My name is Vincent Hale. 3 months ago, my daughter made the world remember what it tried to forget. Love. You can hate it. You can fight it. But you can't erase it. We're all linked now. Not by machines, not by blood. By memory." He looked up at the twin skies. One human, one alien, merging slowly into one color. Haven stood beside him, her violet eyes reflecting the dawn. Do you think she's still out there? Vincent smiled faintly. She's everywhere. Far above, in the orbiting debris of the old neural tower, a single glowing sphere drifted through space. Inside, a child's voice hummed softly, the same lullaby that once woke a planet, and the stars pulsed gently in response, like a heart that would never stop remembering. A child's whisper across every dream on Earth. We are one now. Don't forget.